Today is a very special day. Yep, today is Johnny Costa's birthday. Well, it's probably no longer his birthday by the time you guys are watching this video, but nonetheless, today we are obviously going to do another Johnny Costa picture overview for this pic overview. Not this one, though. We already talked about this one. Got something better to show you. This picture is sort of similar to this one in a way, but this one's a little more, it's a little different. It's slightly fancier. For one thing, this is a two-panel picture. That means there are two different pictures in one frame. And you see, on this channel, I do a lot of cartoons like that. I love to do multi-panel stuff. When it's possible, of course. Sometimes it's a little trickier to do these multi-panel pictures, but anyways, this is only two-panel. It's two different pictures of Johnny Costa together. It's sort of like a sepia tone picture. It's drawn with mostly brown colors. You cannot clearly see the white. It's very off-white. So it's definitely like a sepia tone picture in a way. It's yet another depiction of Johnny Costa playing the Celesta, playing both the piano in one picture and the Celesta in the other picture. But the interesting thing about the picture where he's playing the Celesta is he is playing the piano at the same time. That's because, in a fact that I don't think I mentioned in the other videos, on those early Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood closing credits where Johnny Costa would play a Celesta solo, whether or not it was the episodes that also had a jazz piano solo beforehand, Johnny Costa did something very unique with the Celesta music. He would play the piano with one hand and the Celesta with the other. He would, I guess it's his dominant hand. He would use the dominant hand to play the Celesta, to play the solo, and the other hand to play the piano as a bass line for the Celesta. We didn't really talk too much about that before, only because I was rushing to get everything sort of out there in the other videos. But yeah, Johnny Costa did a lot of experimental stuff, even in the show's early years. Even just limited to the piano and the Celesta. But anyways, I wanted to focus more on the author's notes on this picture. This picture, by the way, was drawn on a pastel yellow sheet of construction paper. I think it's called a buttercream or a buttercup yellow. But I wanted to refer to the author's notes. I usually love to write these little anecdotes on my cartoons, usually when I have commentary to say about the cartoons, even if my YouTube audience, for whatever reason, doesn't. But I thought I'd read some of these back to you guys and see if you all agree with me on any of this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. The first author's note says, pictured above is how Johnny Costa used to play the show's music in earlier seasons based off audio footage. So, very little known fact we've discussed in other videos, and I've just discussed in this video. Johnny Costa used to very prominently play the Celesta in the show's earlier seasons from about 1968 to 1970-ish. And on and off until about 1972-ish. And of course, when he was playing the Celeste, he would have the piano backing as a bass line on most of those Celeste closings. For reasons unknown, despite all the beautiful behind-the-scenes photos and video footage Fred Rogers Productions has provided fans over the years of Johnny Costa's work on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, I have never seen any visual recording of him playing the Celesta. We've never seen him play the Celesta. We've only ever heard him play the Celesta. So whenever you hear the closing credits of a circa 1968 to 1970 episode, that's most likely what it would have looked like when he was playing the music. So just keep that in mind. The second author's note says nearly every Mister Rogers' Neighborhood episode at the time ended with the Tomorrow Song. And that's true. The Tomorrow Song was indeed the regular closing song at the time of most of the episodes where Johnny Costa was playing the Celesta in the closing credits. He very gradually started phasing out the Celesta from the closing credits when Good Feeling became the closing song, but of course he would still occasionally do the ding or ding sound effects at the very end of the closing credits when necessary. Author's Note 3 says episodes 9, 1067, 1075, 1103, 1141, and 1239 are the only Tomorrow closings to not use the Celesta outro. And that's true. Episode 9 is literally the only episode of the entire 1968 season that did not have the Celesta in the closing credits at all. In some of those other episodes later on, Johnny Costa was dabbling with just using the piano or just having the piano at the very end of the closing credits. And of course, episode 1103 from 1970, that's the episode that ended with that very beautiful, luscious piano arpeggio at the tail end. Fourth author's note, as pictured above, Costa used to have a beard from circa 1970 to 1971. Yeah, he has a beard in the pictures. What the heck? But he did. He did have facial hair during the 1970 season and very early in the 1971 season. Here's fan art of his appearance in episode 1078 with his grandson John John. He had a beard at the time. Who knew? But anyways, the last author's note, if the camera will focus, hold on. Okay, the last author's note says, Fred Rogers Productions used to be called Small World Enterprises, Inc. When Rogers took over in 1972, it was renamed to Family Communications, Inc. So there you go. That's it for my trivial Johnny Costa fan art of him playing the piano in the Celesta. Sorry if this video presentation was a little bit on the cheesy side. I tried to do things as thorough as possible. But anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good day.